Okay, so starting up until June 19th, I will be stretching these Toy Story videos out, and I will be reading these classic Toy Story creepypastas. I will also probably end up dropping the final one, which will be the Black Friday reel, on June 19th, which will be the release of Toy Story 5. So we're starting off with a Spanish creepypasta, El Origen de Toy Story, which is one that actually kinda creeps me out. I will never forget that day, the one where my whole perspective changed forever. I thought I was forgetting everything, but they had to release the third part. Everyone loves this movie. For me, it's disgusting. I can't believe the success it has had. I am referring to the famous Toy Story trilogy. Very few of us know the true origins of this macabre creation. It was 1991 when this started. Pixar wanted to slightly change the audience that their productions were focused on, and Disney, originated by the success of The Lion King, wanted to change to see how it would work in a more adult market. As I know, because I was a maintenance worker, they paid very well, but some things happened that you should never say like this. Pixar had a story planned. It is not known by whom it was created, but supposedly it would be a masterpiece in bizarre cinema. It would be called Toy Story. It was just a short before it was released to theaters. A few other people had to see it and give their opinion in exchange for some money, as I needed it. I accepted without hesitation. A terrible mistake. A total of 6 people saw it, 2 Pixar executives, 3 people I didn't know, and obviously me. The short begins with a very macabre lullaby. Andy's room was dark, and in small letters you can make out the letters Toy Story. For the technology they had, it was a very poor animation, but since it was just a test, I didn't pay attention to it. The room lit up. Andy was crying, but in a more than real way. A deep cry that was contagiously sad. The music was silent, and only the crying could be heard. This happened for about 2 minutes. The crying ends, and now an argument sounds. The shot changes to Andy's parents, arguing at the edge of the stairs. The mother obviously looks pregnant. The dialogues are not distinguishable. Only screams can be heard. The shot returns to Andy, who takes Woody and Betty and begins to play with them. Betty did not have her characteristic sheep, while Woody smiled macabrely. Then Andy took a Barbie and Ken. These apparently simulated Andy's parents arguing, till Woody and Betty arrive and begin to beat the other 2 dolls. Then a heartbreaking scream is heard. The shot changes to the argument between Andy's parents. His father is seen abruptly throwing his mother from the stairs. She hits herself repeatedly and ends up lying on the floor, surrounded by a pool of extremely real blood. The screams of a desperate baby begin to be heard. These screams become deeper and stronger. We return to Andy, who realizes what is happening, grabs a knife from under his bed and throws himself at his father. His father's screams are heartbreaking and go straight into your mind, as if that unfortunate person was in the same room as us. Andy's father is dead, but Andy keeps penetrating him with the knife. Then, cuts his father's arm and throws him. Andy goes to where his mother is lying down and apparently dead. The baby's screams become more and more sensitive and real at this moment. The shot changes to a photo of a baby, a few months old without arms or legs, and a man who begins to suffocate him until the baby falls silent. The screams are similar to those in the animation. Andy goes up the stairs with both of his parents dead, returns to his room and takes Woody, hugs him. He revives, and Andy doesn't seem to be surprised. Woody gets up and begins to comfort him, saying, "This had to happen sometime. It's not your fault." Andy threw himself to the floor and began to cry and hit his head on the floor until it started to bleed. Woody then goes under the bed and takes out another knife. He approaches Andy and picks up the knife. At the moment, he says, "This had to happen sometime." The shot goes to black, and only the screams of a desperate child are heard for approximately 5 minutes, ending with a photo of a real child, apparently stabbed and in the same condition as the baby, without arms or legs. At that moment, it ends. The silence was inevitable. The Pixar executives left and slammed the door furiously. Of the other 3 people, 2 ran away and 1 stayed there motionless and burst into tears. I left, and as I was leaving the room, a man apologized and told me to not say anything about this, as they would investigate the case. Years later, Toy Story came out, with a very different story than the original. better quality recording and sound, but seeing the characters reminds me of the horrible occasion where the dreams of a madman materialized in the most innocent thing in the world, a child's toys. Now Toy Story 3 has hit theaters with the same innocent story, but the mystery that maybe 5 other people who I never knew what happened to them. For my part, it disgusts me that so many people follow this macabre creation, which had terror in its origins. Okay, so now that the story is done, I'm gonna go ahead and say some things. Over the course of a week, I will be reading some Toy Story shitpastas as well. The next one I have on my radar is the Lost Toy Story Treats by Rowan Horden, which is the funniest fucking creepypasta I've ever read. Everything's perfect at Hungry Jack's. My ass crack. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this one, and sorry for the kind of mispronunciation. This story was originally in Spanish, and I'm reading the English translation, which might not be good at all. Also, Betty, by the way, is Bo Peep, because in the Spanish dub of Toy Story, Bo Peep is known as Betty. So, yeah. Anyway, see you guys in the next story, which will be the Lost Toy Story Treats. Over and out.